Hi, my name's Dee and welcome to Sunchild Tarot and welcome to your April reading for Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, North Node, whatever placement that you're wanting to have a look at. And also, if you don't know what your rising sign is, your ascendant, there is a link in the description down below so that you can go and get yourself a birth chart. There's a number of sites that do it. It's always useful to know what your ascendant or your rising sign is. And watch those. I mean, watch your sun sign as well, but watch your rising sign. That's the big one. So, as a general reading, obviously, I'm not reading for every Virgo on the planet. It's a subsection of all those that come to the channel in the first place. So, there is a past and a present on this reading. It is either for you or it isn't. If the past and the present make no sense, then it's not a reading for you. If the past and the present do make sense, then take it on board, but make decisions on what you think, not what I tell you. Don't give your power away or anything like that. So, general reading, as I say, timing is not absolute. Roles can get reversed if somebody else turns up here because I'm seeing actions and energies. Doesn't happen a lot, can happen. So, yeah. But ask a question prior to this reading. Think about all of the questions that are around you at the moment and focus on one of them. But be aware of all of them because cards will answer what they want. But by focusing on that question, you can give energy to this process that I will hopefully return to you in the form of a useful reading. And if I don't, the universe will find a way. Finally, last bit of housekeeping, because I'm trying to keep this bit beneath 2 minutes nowadays. There's a link for the Facebook page for this channel down there and my link tree. But the Facebook page, I post these videos. I frequently, but not always, post the weather forecast style videos for, astrology videos. But also it's got its own inbox. So if you want to approach me for a personal reading, that's the way you can do it. You can also get hold of my fellow astrologer, my astrologer, sorry. Oh, get my teeth in. I mean, he doesn't belong to me, obviously, but David Fisher, who you've seen as a special guest. And same day as this video goes out, David and I have a special video going out looking at, and this is all my fault, but looking at the birth chart of Darkside, as in when he first hit public awareness, his first appearance back in 1970. I found out the date, I've assigned a place, well, New York, obviously. And then we've had a look at the chart and oh my God. So if you're into astrology, you will enjoy it. If you're into the comic stuff and you want to know more about Darkside, you will enjoy it. And if you're wondering who Darkside is, I mean, Darkside is. But if you're wondering who Darkside is, then he's the villain in the Snyder Cut of the Justice League that's just been released week last Friday. So I was going to be working on that chart and do it myself in like 6 months' time when I could know what I was talking about, but I thought it's too great an opportunity to miss. Anyway, I've now waffled for 3.5 minutes because I was going to put that bit at the end. Let's bring your cards up, Virgo, and see what's going on for you. So, there we go. Now, it looks to me like things are going pretty well. You have some really good positive significators as you are building up to when you start. I just did Leo's reading, and they were told to have the confidence, whereas I'm not so sure that's quite the same issue here for you. It's more like right now you've got plenty of options, and there's a sense of, I know exactly what I want to do, but there's several ways that I can do it. Several paths that I can go forward. But you are on a genuinely positive path. And the reason that I say this is, I mean, to a point, it doesn't matter. It does matter. But from the point of view, time in the reading that I'm talking from here, it doesn't matter what option that you choose, you're still going to an abundant harvest. Final outcome card, 7 of coins, indicating that harvest if you've been putting the work in. right next to Demeter in the Greek mythology cards represents mother, but I cannot ignore the fact that she's a very empress style divinity. She is the one who gives us our harvest. She is the fruit of the fields. So why have you got all these options? There's one obstacle that you need to move out the way. We've got Hasmed, the angel of annihilation here. It's saying, look at that which does not belong and get rid. Allow it to be destroyed. And with the dragon card coming out of the Mists of Avalon oracle, that's not necessarily representing a challenge for you. It's representing the ability of you to breathe fire and eradicate an obstacle. So very much, I like the idea of that whole dragon power, dragon fire, that dragon energy. That's what I'm looking at, as if you are channeling some form of dragon energy. But what is really interesting is here, in the near future, we have the devil on the top and the high priestess beneath it. And the first thing that I got as I was laying out these cards, I got the distinct impression of you were having or are going to be having, and the reason for this will come clear soon, Ace of Swords here, if it isn't coming clear already, because that's touching the present line. You are going to be having an interaction, whether that's a deal, a bargain, and approaching somebody for assistance or allowing somebody to assist. But the impression that I'm get is that you're having an interaction with the wrong person for the right reasons. Like, I'll put it in superhero terms, some great threat comes to destroy the planet, and the heroes in their fight to defend the planet will also ask the villains for help because, hey, the villains live here too. Are you going to fight this big thing that's going to kill all of us? So the villains being the wrong person, the fighting to defend the planet being the right reason. So when I say the wrong person, it's more somebody that normally you would not necessarily even entertain the idea of having some form of interaction with. Now, I don't know the context of that yet because I'm still looking at the cards, so to speak. So let's have a look what's going on. So we have, there's a lot of semi-new beginning energies that you're in at the moment and you've been in for a while. Ace of Wands here. There was something that you set out to do that actually ended up moving faster than what you was expecting it to do, and it seemed to open up a lot of opportunities. You'd started this after a period of loss. Something was set right. Something was made good. However, because this thing was made good, you were left in a position for a while without. So it's as if you managed to stop an unscrupulous employer doing unscrupulous things, but because of that, you've lost your job because you was working for the unscrupulous employer, and the unscrupulous employer is no longer in business. Or you managed to... This is very dramatic, this reading, actually, because the next example that springs to mind is you managed to get an abusive partner arrested for the abuse that they have been given, but the problem is you were living in their house, so you are now homeless. So there is that without a home or without a job or without something. Setting something right. You set something right, and it took time. It took a lot of time, but you had support from friends, and you just kept going and kept going and going. We will sort this out. And once it was sorted out in a material sense, you ended up without something. Without a home, without a job, without the resources that you previously had access to. Now, this is a different person to this wrong person. I really do feel that those are two completely unrelated situations. This situation here, because it was something that, let's face it, you turned a blind eye to it for long enough because you thought, this is what I want. This is what I want to be. And you got into this situation where slowly you have the dawning realization of, well, hang on a minute, no, this isn't what I wanted. And I'm feeling uncomfortable here, and going all the way to almost, this is wrong. This is wrong, and it's got to stop. So you won that battle. But there was no spoils of war, to be quite honest, So you decided how you were going to move forward from that point on. And yeah, you was very, very nervous about it, not sure about where you was going, because once that particular battle in your life had ended, what do I do now? There's almost that sense of directionlessness after something like that, and then you go, right, I'm heading in this direction, and it didn't really matter, I don't think, what direction it was, just that you needed to be heading in a direction. That worked out for you. It took its time, and you were quite exhausted, but nearly brought something into completion recently. In fact, yes, you have brought something into completion. So you've got new beginnings energy that you're already in. We've got the King of Cups, which is denoting an emotional resolution about where you have come to now. Ace of Pentacles, as you know, new beginning energy. Grounded, firm, real world new beginning energy. So using the previous example, new home, new job, new position, new interest, new partner, new something big, something that affects your day-to-day life, and it was working well. The Empress card here. And now you've got plenty of options going, well, how do I move forward from here? Because having that direction after that period of directionlessness and being without is still important, and you are being urged towards a victory. However, right, there's a choice that you have to make. Maybe this isn't entirely finished, or this is a new situation. If it's a new situation, there's a repeated pattern going on here. There's a choice that you have to make, the Lover's card, combined with the Seven of Cups, about whether to break your heart or not. There's something that you are going, if I do this, then a little bit of my heart is going to break. Because I'm in such a good space right now, and moving forward, although it's the right thing to do, and I do believe that it's what I have been working towards, and that I'm doing it for loving reasons, but doing it for that loving reasons, there is a little bit of my heart breaking right now. That throws a different spin on it from what I was seeing with that Three of Swords there. However, and this is where I'm again thinking about this dragon energy. It's almost like this, that little bit of heartbreak is essential to how you are going to surge forward and how you're actually going to claim your happiness. Because, so I'm getting all sorts of images from this Three of Swords. You know, I can see it in a very Hellraiser type thing. The way the person is underneath it is a very Eight of Swords, like they are bound. Like that heart has been like that for a long, long time. It has hung there for a long, long time. It has taken root. That's why it's suspended like it is. But there is an option of victory, of happiness, underlying. Aha. Right. There's a reason that you are facing this heartbreak. Now, I'm not saying that this is a heartbreak that's happening right now. This might be something that's been under the surface for quite some time, years, and it's coming up to your awareness. It's like, oh, well, how am I going to actually enjoy my Ten of Pentacles and my Six of Wands victory if I'm still feeling like this? So that rather indicates Hasmed. Why? There's something that it's like you need to eradicate the source of that heartbreak. Not the source, just the heartbreak itself. You know, there's something that it's pretty much accept and move on, and there's new information going to come into you. So you're being put right in your feels at the minute here with the Moon card over those two. I'm going to surge ahead forward, but there's that wound that's there. You need to allow it with the right information. You have the strength to have victory, Six of Wands again, over this. Now, this leads us into this period of time of doing the right thing with the wrong person, or having the interaction with the wrong person for the right reasons. So that may put context on what that wrong person is. Let's have a look what's under the Devil card first. We have Page of Pentacles. Maybe you're diving back into something, but this time you're diving back into it with more skill. We have Page of Pentacles. So, as I always say with this card, level 1 complete, start level 2. With the Temperance, meaning you're protected, but acting with a sense of balance with regards this Devil card. And again, I don't necessarily feel bad about this Devil card. It's just, it's an influencer source it's not your type. Like I said, it's teaming up with the villains to save the planet sort of situation. Let's see if I can get to clarify the Devil card with, okay, they wanted to jump out, fair enough. Let's see what we've got. We have got the World and the Two of Cups with Vapula and Stelos. That's indicating to me that there is some form of union. Definitely, when I said deal or bargain earlier, or interaction, that is spot on, because there is some form of deal that you have to make with this person that normally you wouldn't give the time of day to, and it's going to benefit you. And it's going to, more to the point, it's going to benefit your aims, your target, your whatever it is that you're heading towards. And the High Priestess is, as much as you may stress about it, you can control how this interaction goes to a great extent, because you are able to see both sides, and you'll be getting a better understanding of, oh, there it is, of what this character is wanting, needing, can offer, how they tick, I think is a good way to put it. Because just because you know what they are wanting and needing doesn't mean you're going to provide it. It does mean, however, that you can understand it, and those bits that you are okay with, you can then provide, or you can say to them, look, you know what you're looking for? It's over there. Go get it. So you can be that positive influence on them as well. And I don't see them as a negative influence on you. There's a lot of love energy here as well, with Knight of Cups here, Knight of Cups here. You know, there's so if this was a love reading, which of course it's not because I'm reading them and I don't like doing love readings, but if it was, um, then you're falling for a bad boy. It's, but you may be having a more intimate relationship with somebody that wouldn't have appeared on your radar beforehand due to a whole number of preconditions, but maybe they are exactly that force and that energy that you need to just shift that heartbreak away. And then we have Knight of Cups, as I said, with matching the Knight of Cups and Page of Cups here, that can be all about love offers, but also be about a dream that you're wanting to search forward for, a dream that you've been working on for quite some time. With the Fool card, so there's your new beginning. I know there was an Ace of Pentacles somewhere in the recent past, but the Fool, you don't get a bigger new beginning one than that. There's starting a whole new chapter that you don't know where it's going to go, and that's the point of it. But you have your own inner light ready. And yes, you may well be even in a relationship at this point, but it is still your path that only you are going along and doing. So, alternate futures. This is what these are. Ones you can grab or avoid. Now, both piles are topped with pages. Page of Coins or Page of Swords. Page of Coins, level 1 complete, start level 2 again. Carry on working on what you was doing and get recognised for it with the 3 of Pentacles here. Page of Swords, with the King of Swords. Right, if you carry on working on what your goal was or is, and that goal is this goal is aside from the heartbreak, but the heartbreak bit is an obstacle to your goal, if that makes sense. They are two different things, but because that heartbreak here is is present in the present moment, whether it's an old one or a recent one, it's just as vibrant for either of them. But with the right information and the setting forward on your I know what I'm aiming for, you are able to cut out that which you need to cut out, but have the wisdom to know when you don't need to cut anything out. You just need to think a bit differently. You have the ability to take the action, and the King of Swords, King of Wands combination here as well gives a really, really warm protective energy, a really, really warm masculine protective energy, which may be you, or maybe somebody around you. But either way, whether this is who you're going to become, or whether this is someone that you're working with, whether it's even the wrong person, as we were talking about earlier, that see earlier in the reading, they come up roses. They really show their stuff, or you get to really show your stuff and be wonderfully capable. But it's interesting that from the Oracle of Heaven and Hell, we got Ananel with perception of unity. So this new beginning that's coming up that you've been working towards, free of this old heartbreak, whatever it is, it's yours. It doesn't matter if this is a relationship reading and you're talking about somebody else coming into your life. They are not on your path. They are on their path. And you are walking your path alone, but in their company if it's a relationship thing. And that needs to be recognised. And you have to give them the freedom to do the same. That's a really important point here. Because if that wrong person is to mature into this King of Wands, King of Swords combo, then you're on your path, they're on their path. You just happen to be walking the same way at the same time. this is also giving them that freedom, turns you into that King of Wands, King of Swords combination. Because I get that as well from this. The feminine, Angel of the Throne. I think Angel of the Throne, which is Angel of the Throne, but I think it's all about creative energy, but it's a feminine energy, this one, that has a lot of common sense, that has a lot of skill, that is practical. And that is a perfect companion, whether this is totally within you or with you and another person. Both of you end up being just as capable as the other, or both sides of you, the masculine side of you and the feminine side of you, become able to work together really, really well in a capable, common sense, practical, effective manner. Now, didn't we have a Justice card over here? Yeah. So there does seem to be a fear of, have I taken the right path? Am I following the right guidance? Because I've been a bit bored with this so far. Yeah, I can see that. Because I'm going this way, whatever direction you wanted to choose, didn't care as long as there was a direction. And then it's like, are we there yet? Are we there yet? Well, where's there? You don't know. But now you're getting to have the understanding of the where there is. And it's been have you really set something right? Well, I think that in the outer world, yes, and in the inner world, you're still working on it. But there is very much an option for your ships to come in at the moment. If you are keeping with I want to say with this Four of Cups, keeping with the effort, but that's not entirely true. I think you are fearing some of the guidance that you have been led to, because I would say, for whoever this reading is, when I was talking about that interaction with the wrong person for the right reasons, you already know who that is. And if you don't know who that is, then quite possibly it's not your reading. But if all the past and the present made sense, then hey, you're yet to meet them, and you will recognize them by the fact that they are totally the wrong person. And your reaction will be pretty much like, them? Really? So, but this gets a wonderful harvest. 7 here. 7 of coins, I've already discussed the harvest. With the 7 of cups, those options that you have at the moment, there will be more options in the future, but you've got to go through this bit. You've got to use that dragon energy through this bit yet. It will be a healing experience. 4 of swords here, and that also just, this particular 4 of swords, it gives me a sense of longevity, and it gives me a sense of commitment, and it actually gives me a strength of motion, because it is narrowing lots and lots of energy down, or energies down to one point, one use, one aim, one target, one goal, like focusing light through a crystal or through a magnifying glass would be an even better idea. So let's just have a look at, I've discussed the dragon and I've discussed Hasmed. We also have beauty from the wisdom of the House of Night. And that's one thing I think this wrong person is. There is a certain beauty about them, whether it's beauty in their point of view, beauty in the way they express themselves, beauty in the way that they live in their life, or just something far more visceral and physical than that. Whatever, there is a beauty there that you should be, when you are attracted to it, go, okay, this is a thing, this is a signpost. Because we also have the loving man. Again, could be you, could be someone coming into your life. And again, not necessarily male, just a loving masculine energy. Referring also to this King of Swords, King of Wands combination that both you can become and somebody that you are working with can become. But that is balanced with this feminine angel of the throne. So there's not like an over, it's not like there's too much testosterone in with the pair of you, or do you know what I mean? It's not that there's going to be that clash. There's going to be how the two energies fit together, like the yin yang symbol. And finally, I want to finish with luck is on your side, which was the card out of the Moonology deck. So that's all looking pretty positive. But I think it's one of those experiences where it's actually a lot more positive than it looks at the time when you're going through it. But bear in mind that where you are right now has a lot more positives in it than what you necessarily are aware of. So, if that means anything to you, Virgo, comment down below, because it's always nice to know when a reading, especially one like this, when a reading that I do, how it hits home, or if it has found its home, because it's not for every Virgo, it's for the right Virgos who are led to it. I'm a YouTuber. Please press the like button. Subscribe. Definitely subscribe. It really helps the channel. And share on to your friends if you think it's useful. But more importantly, on an interaction level, comment. I'd really like to know. And I'll stop shaking the camera. Sorry about that. Right. In which case, enjoy and come and watch the Dark Side Is show. All right. Cheers.